So we're going to talk about, in 10 minutes, how to sell cybersecurity services. I'm going to start sharing some facts with you. Now, the facts are recent. They're 2021, because 22 hasn't been compiled yet. First of all, 60% of all cyber attacks hit small businesses. And one of the things they were talking about earlier is, right, you're going to get hit. You're too small to make the news. But one of the ways I always explain it is think of bowling, right? These hackers are taking a bowling ball, and they're throwing it. And whatever pins they hit, that's who they're hacking, because your credit card spend as well as anybody else's. 66% of SMB businesses had at least one cyber attack, 424% increase in attacks in 2021. Also, 63% of small businesses are worried about customer data. Well, why? Because that's what's going to put them out of business. Next, 54% of small businesses think they're too small for a cyber attack, and I love this one. This is the best ever. 25% of SMB businesses don't think it'll cost them money if they've had a cyber attack. Let that sink in for a second. So, that's my wife, and that's how she feels about me being here today. Guys, that's as good as it gets. If you don't laugh at that, we're done. Come on. Okay, so that wasn't meant as fear, uncertainty, and doubt. What that was meant for is there's a huge opportunity for you guys, huge opportunity. As you can see right here, Statista says $90 billion by 2025. What does that mean? If you look and say there are 40,000 MSPs in the US, it goes between 30 and 40 on a constant basis, okay? That means your opportunity in ARR, if 40,000 were doing cybersecurity, which we know isn't the case, $2,250,000 a year. Now just think about that for a second. If you just get your fair share of 40,000, it's $2 million in the cybersecurity business. That's good news. So when we talk about selling cybersecurity, one of the things that we always talk about is you're too smart for your own good, right? You think of things in a different way. When I think about music, I think of it in notes, not melody. I'm a drummer. You think of things in technical terms. Nobody cares. Okay, let's be honest. So when we're talking about selling, always project confidence. I know, that sounds stupid, right? Nah, it doesn't. I've been out on plenty of sales calls with MSPs in my career, and you need cybersecurity. Is that okay? The reality is, guys, gals, you know way more than they do. It doesn't matter if you make a mistake. It doesn't matter if I make a mistake right now. You don't know if I'm telling the truth or if it's my presentation properly. Project confidence. You're the subject matter expert. Talk in terms of business, not technical. This is really, really, really important, okay? Nobody cares. I get all the time, how do I sell your software? Can I have sheets to go sell it? No. Stop trying to sell your security stack as far as the pieces that are in it. Nobody cares. Years ago, I sold software. And it was kind of like an ERP system, and it was actually to Arby's, NRC Cola. Yeah, I'm that old. Anyway, when we went to it, they were complaining because it worked on an AS400. Yeah, again, I'm that old. And they didn't like that. They didn't like it because it was a closed operating system. And my thing is I went through it and said, does it solve this problem? Yeah. This one? Yeah. This one? Yeah. This one? Yes. Then why do you care if it runs on a Volvo in the parking lot? Same thing. Nobody cares what your security stack has in it. They just care that it works. Don't use fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Everybody talks about using fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Scare the customer. I don't know about you all, but when someone scares me, I go, I want to crawl up in a hole. I don't want to do anything. I am now paralyzed with fear as to what to do, because now I don't want to make a mistake. Do not use fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Use stories. Talk about real life. Talk about business impact. Okay, and when we're talking about business impact, Talk about stories that you've run into. I heard some stories up here earlier. If you have stories, tell them. Tell them as they relate to what's going on in the world at their size, okay? If you don't have stories, guess what? Last time I checked, there were a bunch of MSPs in the audience. Ask for their best stories about things that have happened to smaller companies, and use those stories to your advantage. Because last time I checked, everybody in here has a favorite TV show, yes? Favorite movie, favorite author. What do they have in common? Their stories. And I bet you remember them on a regular basis. Ask what-if questions. Don't say, your business is gonna go down. Again, okay, now you've paralyzed me. I don't know what to do, and I'm not doing anything. Ask questions like, how would you feel? What would happen if? Get them in the mindset of talking about their business, thinking about their business and the impact something could have on their business, not the world. If you talk to me about the world, I don't care. I'm not the world. I'm Bob, and I own a manufacturing company. And you know what? I don't even like to shop at Target. So, show, don't tell. Always use an assessment. By the way, our software's capable of that. I don't give a crap if you use my software. I'm trying to teach something. Always use an assessment. Why? Well, first of all, you have facts. Second of all, you can take facts and move them into a story that makes sense, but you can show them that based on the story, they have the same problem. And it provides the ability to ask those questions about what if, how would you feel? It also provides a wedge between you and your competitor, because guess what? They're not doing this. But finally, anybody ever had a prospect go completely cold on them? Just die? Nobody? You're that good at salespeople? So what the assessment does is it gives you a reason to call. Hi, Bob, this is Matthew. Hey, you know that assessment we did? I found some things that concern me, and I'd really just like to talk about it. Give me a call. Click. How many of you think Bob might call back? Might, right? Have a better shot at it at least than them going completely cold? Always use the assessment. And again, don't technical them to death. Educate them. Talk about their business. So, we're going to talk about continuous vulnerability scanning for a second. Why? Well, because that's what I do and that's what I care about. So in the NIST framework, you need to identify, protect, detect, respond, and recover. If you look over here under detect, you'll see security continuous monitoring. Ooh. So, continuous vulnerability scanning. Why? Well, if you look over here, there were 18,000 CVEs issued in 2021, okay? And 90% were exploitable by attackers with minimal skills. But the one that stood out to me, and should stand out to you, is 61% required no user interaction. That means it wasn't phishing, it wasn't business email compromise, it was simply a vulnerability that existed that I was able to exploit. I mean, they were able to exploit. Sorry. Next thing, insurance companies are now requiring it. You want cyber liability insurance? They're starting to require continuous vulnerability scanning. Why? Because you might find out too late. And that's not good for them or good for your customer. Also, compliance. Compliance frameworks are now starting to require it. The other thing is it finds vulnerabilities immediately, and it also finds new assets on the network immediately. Also, if you don't like NIST, CIS says it also. So let's talk about Nodeware real quick. It's continuous vulnerability scanning, okay? It's internal, external. Next thing, simple setup. You could have any customer set up in under 30 minutes. It's multi-tenant. There's a dashboard. There's robust reporting. And it's platform agnostic. I don't care if you're running Mac. I don't care if you're running Windows. I don't care if you're running Google Chrome. If there's a thermostat on the wall and it grabs an IP address, you're going to get a scan back. Built-in remediation guidance. Our new deep scan technology allows you to literally go to a vulnerability, see the different databases that are there, as well as, if it's an authenticated scan, click a button and it'll take you right to the patch. Not just Microsoft, Oracle, Microsoft, Apple, whatever the case may be, you no longer have to go research, or your team, to try to make a remediation happen. We've had customers tell us it literally is cutting their time by 50%. What could you do with 50% more tech time back? I'm assuming a lot, maybe. That's kind of what it looks like. As you can see, you have down here the different databases, go up there, there's the file path, click on it, takes you right to the remediation. So platform agnostic, multi-tenant, easy to use, easy to deploy, easy to manage. Dashboard completely allows for scanning of any IP address anywhere. And if you haven't seen, NIST is starting to include IoT devices. So it is something that's important out there. Finally, it's built and priced for MSPs. So as you can see, we have 3 models. First one, annual upfront. Pay for it upfront, annually, have a nice day. Next one, annual, pay monthly. You're making an annual contract, you get a little bit of a discount, but you're paying monthly for it. And the final one, which we just put together, and I'm so darn excited about, consumption. Buy what you want, when you want, how you want, go up and down, get billed 1 month in arrears, no contract. You want out, tell us 30 days before and you're out. So we're trying to be as MSP-centric as humanly possible. Also for Frank, you can get it through Synnex, Rain Networks, Ingram Micro, as well as direct with us. So come by the booth, get one of our cool new Node t-shirts, be a Node, and we'll talk more about it and how to do it. Also, show special, you schedule a demo here or within 5 days of here, and you'll get 50 assets. You buy those, you get 25 free for the year to use on another customer. That's all I got. I appreciate your time, and sorry for the bad dad jokes.